Yeah. What it do? What up, people? What up? What up? What up? Superhero Smitty, what's going on, man? How you feeling? Man, show him one
Hey,
time.
but let's be real, man. Is it Tuesday already? No, it's Sunday, man. Hold on, I'm tripping. Um,
Pop up, baby. Pop up show.
yeah, we do the pop ups, man, because we always have something to talk about, bro.
Sure.
Always.
Every
And when
time.
you always
All the
got something
time.
to talk about, bro, and when it's positive, hey, man, people gonna reach out their arm. They gonna support you no matter what.
Yes,
But
sir.
what we gonna do with this one, man? We gonna take the little draft board for a spin right quick.
Yep.
And we've been talking about, trading up to go get Will Anderson, trade up, to get one of the top picks, such as probably Jalen Carter, Christian Gonzalez, Devon Witherspoon.
Mm.
But what would it look like in a trade back?
Yeah.
There would still be some good players available. It may not be the players that we want, but trust me, they would fit the system, and it would be worth our while, man. So tell me
Yeah, man.
right quick. Go ahead, tell the folks right quick in the chat what's up, because
Definitely, man. Got to
I
shout
can
the
I
folks
can see
out,
the
man.
screen, but I can't stroll.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I got that, man. I got you, man. Brother Winston Thornton in the house, man. Thank you, Winston Thornton, man. Appreciate this shout out, man. I truly appreciate that, bro. Thank you for supporting, man. Jermaine,
Hey, Winston, my dude, man, he
yes,
was on with
sir.
me yesterday, day before
Yeah,
yesterday,
yeah, day
man,
before
for a
yesterday.
good
I
little
caught
while.
that. Yes, man.
Yeah.
RGATL for life, the plug, man. Yes, sir. Happy WrestleMania Sunday. Absolutely. If you caught it last night, it was a banger, bro. Isaac Crimes, Chet, Tris Daddy, Archangel, man. Thank you, man. Thank you guys for tuning in on this Sunday pop-up show. Angel Reyes, Carlos, what's going on, people? What's going on? Come right on in, man. Trying to have a good time real quick, man. Just a quick pop-up show on this
Can't forget my
Sunday.
boy Stephon Mosley. I don't want him to cuss me out
Oh
today.
yeah, Stephon Mosley just popped in. What's up, fam? How you doing, man? Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. I know myself and Smitty are right now, but we're gonna spend some time with y'all talking about what we've been thinking about, and is exactly as Smitty was saying earlier, man. What would a trade back look like for our Atlanta Falcons? And Smitty, the idea really comes from, I would say, the moves that Atlanta has made, man. We've solidified a lot of positions. Some people might say, "Hey, we overpaid," but yeah, it's in a perfect world, you're gonna have to overpay for some things too, man. Like the services of Amnumata, a lot of folks have been saying, "Oh, y'all overpaid for him." Yeah, listen, man, but we need that. We needed that. So he was there for the taking. So why not? Deron Payne would have cost us a pretty penny too. But he got franchised. Draymond Jones, another guy that a lot of us were wishing we would have had, signed a pretty penny contract as well. Javon Hargraves and etc. But hey, it is what it is, man. But right now, the Falcons, have solidified a lot of positions. Linebacker, Caden Ellis. Defensive tackle, Ominyata. Recently signed, Calais Campbell. Um, Smitty, where do the Falcons go from here? Like, what do you see the next position that Atlanta can solidify and say, all right, this piece right here is going to bring this defense together, man.
That's definitely cornerback. That's pretty easy.
Yep.
As you saw the inconsistent play and the injuries last year,
Yep.
cornerback had to be um, a definite need going into this draft, no matter if Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith or a quarterback such as the Will Levis, another
Mm-hmm.
cornerback I'm sorry, another defensive end or defensive tackle, man, Kalijah Cansey, Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
who I
Yeah.
think is going to rise up the board closer we get to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think cornerback, man, is definitely a need. And as I told you before, I think Christian Gonzalez is in play at number 6 for the Lions
Yeah.
and number 7 with the Las Vegas Raiders, depending on which way they go.
Mm-hmm.
So cornerback, you look at Darren Hall. He was played well in spurts, but
Yeah.
inconsistent. Same with Cornell Armstrong, but I give Cornell Armstrong some credit. You saw those last 5 to 6 games. Um, he got better and started being a little bit more consistent himself.
Yeah.
So cornerback is definitely a need. And another reason why I would love to see cornerback is to see what Jerry Gray's um, what it's like to play under Jerry Gray, how much better this secondary can get. Because you've already added Jesse Bates to help over the top with
Right.
either cornerback. for him to play single high, to play in the box. He can do it all, and he's a heat-seeking missile.
Mm-hmm.
So the defensive backfield, man, I think is going to be the biggest need going into this draft. Probably at number 8 and possibly at number 44 too.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely not out of the question, man. Atlanta has double dipped in positions before in the past. I believe it was 2013. Trufant, Robert Alford right back in the second round. So it's really not out of the question. Can we trust Casey Hayward? All season. He did play decent for us in the beginning, and then he unfortunately went down with the shoulder injury. And then, truth be told, like you mentioned, man, that was a revolving door at cornerback, week in and week out, even with AJ Terrell himself missing some time early in the year also with a hamstring injury, if I'm not mistaken. But, so this show's really going to be.
And another thing, before you go ahead, before you go on, another thing, we talk about Casey Hayward coming back from an injury. Mm-hmm. If you get probably 2 corners in this draft, you can extend his career in Atlanta because he's only a $5 million cap hit. Which is not much in today's market. But if he works out this year, what if you can keep getting him for next year and the year after for probably another $500,000 at like 6.5, which is still affordable when we have approximately 70 million, I think, going into next year already as we're looking.
Yeah.
So 6.5 million won't be a lot. We know you got to sign AJ Terrell. He's really going to be the only focal point in getting a new contract. So this is lining up very good for the Falcons. Yeah. This is why they're signing, a lot of 1-year deals because you still got to fill the roster. So they're doing that well.
Yeah.
But if you go cornerback, a pick or 2, it can easily help Casey Hayward as well.
Yeah. At that point, if you do double dip at a cornerback, like you mentioned, he could be released. It's affordable. It's not that much of a hit. I don't see no other position on the roster that he can play. Honestly, he's an exclusive guy only on the outside. I think he'd be a tremendous liability if lined up in the corner. In the slot, excuse me. So I think we double dip at that. I think it's good riddance for him. So, which all the great points. This draft is definitely loaded at cornerback. We got some guys out of Louisville, Keitrell Clark for one. The Falcons were said to be in love with him at the Shrine Bowl. Cam Smith, he's another potential get, you know what I mean? Tyreek Stevenson also, another young buck that could be had in the later rounds. So a trade back from number 8, yes, we will lose out on, our guy, Christian Gonzalez, but we can fill that slot with adequate play. So, Smitty, Washington is a sweet spot at, 16, if I'm not mistaken, that they're picking? Let me see.
Well,
Washington has 16.
Let's back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's try to go a little bit lower. Let's say 12, 13 to the Texans 13. Or the Jets. I think the Jets will possibly move up because
they could.
As we've been talking about Aaron Rodgers for like the last month,
man,
he definitely has to get some more weapons. They've added Alan Lazard and they put other guys out, next to him. But let's be real about it. What are you going to do? How are you going to protect Aaron Rodgers? How are you going to? How should I say it? Get the right defense around him, and that's something that you have to think about. So they can move up to number 8, get one of the best defensive players, or they can move up the board, get one of the top offensive linemen because you got to protect him.
Yeah.
So
for them,
that would be a good spot with the That would be a good spot with the Jets. And we talk about Houston, who we think is going to take a quarterback at number 2. It's the same thing with them. You get a new quarterback, you got to protect him. You have Larry Matanzo, and I forgot the guy they drafted last year. I think I can't think of his name, but you can still go offensive line to solidify that line. You have a beast in Damon Pierce at running back to take some pressure off of that young quarterback, whoever they pick. So, I mean, let's be real about it, man. 12 and 13 are really solid.
Sweet spots.
And they may give up, who knows? They could give up, their number 12 and their second round pick, which is number 32.
Mm-hmm.
So a sweet spot like Houston, you probably could shake. Um, you probably could shake that second round pick out of them because you're moving up for a premium player.
Yeah.
So those two are spots that I would actually love to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it makes sense, man, and it would be great, man, because there's definitely a couple little holes that we got. We still can stand to solidify the linebacker position, as we were talking off air. Michael Walker, he's penciled in as the middle linebacker, but you had an interesting point, man, and it's probably the reason why we haven't re-signed Rashad Evans, and that's because we may just restock that position overall, and which is a great idea. There's some thumpers in the draft, and there could be some folks that might not get drafted that we could bring in as camp bodies, and who knows what may happen after that. But if we do
Well,
solidify,
it's
yeah,
one it's one linebacker that we
yeah,
have that I've been talking about for 2 years, and that's Dorian Etheridge.
right,
He's coming
hasn't got
off a
his fair
torn
shot, man.
ACL. I call him the baby Justin Tucker because when I seen that Tennessee game 2 years ago, that's who he looked like. He
Mm,
came downhill pretty fast. He has great instincts. He came out of Louisville as well a couple of years ago.
yeah,
So he could possibly get a chance. But we still have June 1st cuts. We still have undrafted free agents. So it's a
yep,
long way to go
yeah, it
before we
is,
talk
man.
about resigning Rashad Evans or anybody else or signing anybody at that middle linebacker position.
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, well, yeah, they have been talking about it, and hopefully it would happen. He was very productive for us last year, led the team in tackles. But if
Should
Atlanta
have been a
decides
Pro
at the
Bowler.
last minute, man, yeah, should have been. If they decided last minute that they just want to redo the whole position entirely because of Ryan Nielsen's vision, then that's probably why he won't resign. But if it was up to me, I'd definitely resign because for all the things mentioned, man, it was ultra productive for us at that position. Led. Did he lead the league in tackles, or he came damn near close? So, man,
Top three.
top three. So that he was putting in work, man.
Yep.
I'm just trying to see what else here. What do you think about Trenton Simpson? I know that one kid out of Clemson, man. I think he's probably this year's best linebacker. Very good
I
in
mean,
coverage.
to me, he's the only plug and play linebacker in the draft. I
Yeah.
mean, there might be some in the later rounds, but as far as what you see on tape, he's
Mm.
just that guy. Now we could get a couple surprises, and one is Aubrey Miller from Jackson State. He's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit smaller at about 220, 225, but he could come in and he could probably, battle for a starting spot. But Trenton Sampson, he's definitely one linebacker in this draft that could come out and start right away.
Yeah, yeah. I personally like, and shouts out to Derek for mentioning it, man. That kid Jack Campbell out of Iowa. That's another sideline to sideline
Oh
linebacker,
man,
man.
that dude is a psychopath, man.
Yes,
Six
he
foot
is at that
five,
position.
245. Dude got range. He can cover.
Oh man.
Um, you know who he reminds me of? But different position.
Mm.
He reminds me of Ryan Kerrigan.
Oh my.
So
Yeah.
you talk about Ryan Kerrigan, Jack Campbell gives me those kind of vibes.
That's crazy, man. And man, oh man, shout out to Gap Boy, man, because he's on it today, man. We were just talking about this, man. We were just talking about this, Vinny, right before we came
Hey
on.
man, we were just finna go there. Hey,
Absolutely. So this next segment,
hey,
shouts out to you,
Georgia,
Gap
Texas
Boy,
boy.
man.
That's what I think. That's what that means. Georgia, Texas.
Yeah.
Um, Georgia, Texas boy, man. We were just talking about that before we came on the air. And we finna get right into it right now.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Alberto. You were about to speak on it.
Yeah, man. So that would be Washington calling Atlanta at 8 and offering the services of Chase Young, the flop of a picks, and Atlanta sending a fourth rounder to get this deal done. Um, it could happen. It's a possible outcome. Washington right now is still on the fence of picking up the fifth year option, so they're really on the fence on Chase Young overall. What we don't like is what Chase Young has offered, which it hasn't been really that much. He's been injured for the past 2 seasons, but boy oh boy, when this
Three.
kid is on, this kid is on. He's a game wrecker, and you can see why so many NFL teams go to Ohio State for pass rushers because they just churn them right out. So Chase Young is no stranger to that, man, when he puts it all together. So at 8, if Washington calls, man, and says, "Hey, listen, we got Chase Young, and what do you want to do?" I'm taking that trade. I'm absolutely taking that trade.
Yeah, you got to.
You got
You
to.
have to. And the
That's
reason why I
solidifying
say
two
it is
positions within a matter of moments there.
the reason why I say you take that trade
Mm,
is you may at number 8 get an edge rusher, but you get a guy that's experienced, a guy that's prototypical with size and speed. And it's true he hadn't been able to stay on the field the last couple of years.
mm-hmm.
But what if you move back to, I think it's 16. You move back to 16. You get that pick, Chase Young, and a fourth round pick just in case, insurance, just in case Chase Young doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But you got your edge rusher that you probably gonna get at number 8, get at number 16. If a top guard or offensive lineman is there, you got
Oh
to take
God,
him.
gotta take him.
Quentin Johnston may be there, like my boy Isaiah
Yes.
Davis said.
Yep.
Quentin Johnston may
Mm-hmm.
be there. Zay Flowers may be there. There's your wide receiver option.
Yeah.
So if you pull off that kind of trade, um, I mean, you just have to go for it, man.
You
I
got to,
hate to
man.
say it.
Yeah.
And I know he's been, I said I know he's been hurt, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, he's still Chase Young. What
Mm-hmm.
if he's overcome those injuries? He's able to bounce back, become the Chase Young he was his rookie year. You get a steal there. You get him for 2 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not satisfied with it, you move on. That's what you get the fourth
Yeah.
round pick for.
Exactly. He's a
So
body part.
life after, right,
At
right,
the end of the day, you have to account for him. And that's what we need on this defense is people that you got to account for. Now, we got Omenyata paired with Grady. Which one are you going to account for? Either you're going to double team Grady or you're going to double team Omenyata to open up the defense, defensive assignments for other players to fulfill. So a Chase Young, man, I think would take this goddamn defense over the top, man. And truth be told, like you just mentioned, acquiring a Quentin Johnston at that position, which Atlanta is said to have already, had their little formal interviews with him. It could come in. He could come in and solidify the wide receiver number 2. Drake London, of course, we know is
yeah,
our number 1. Matt Collins was signed to be that number 2, number 3 tweener type guy. But if we go off of what Arthur Smith has been doing, he likes height at certain positions. He likes height overall in this offense. You talk about Kyle Pitts, 6'5", 6'6", Drake London, 6'4", Quentin Johnston's the same size, 6'4", 6'5". Matt Collins is the same thing. So it could
or
finally
or
get the vision
you
that he
can
wants on his
you
offense.
right, or you can go Zay Collins, get you an explosive guy in the slot. They can
Zay
make
Flowers,
plays after
yeah,
the catch. A guy that can take the top off the defense when you have Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith, and Drake London underneath, and you
right.
see him out, on a deep route. I mean, it's just so many ways they could go if they move back because it's still going to be starting type talent at number 16.
Yeah.
So just because you move out of top 10 don't mean
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get a good player. I mean, you're still going to get the player that best fits your system,
Right.
and there's still plenty out there.
Mm.
So I mean, that's just what it is. But with Washington, you definitely have to make that call, man,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, they're trying to build their team. They're trying to put um, the right people in the right places, and you add another pick, say a second or a third round pick. Their edge rush is deep in this draft. Cornerback is deep. Another
Yeah.
cornerback that I've watched that I think could fall, possibly the day 3. Well, late day 2, early day 3 is Garrett Williams out of Syracuse.
Yeah. Sleeper
He
man.
has the same type skill set as Devon Witherspoon.
Right.
He just doesn't have that aggressiveness, which some that he could actually work on.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why, man, you got to take all things into consideration.
Yeah. Right here. This one's for you, man. Good boy.
What's up, nephew?
Oh man, always tuning in, man. Shout out to you, Alex.
Hey,
Yeah,
nephew. Hey, you better have them grades right. I know that.
that's right. Oh man, he's been shining, man. He's the star of his class, so that's awesome, man.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. You got to keep it that way, bro. Hey, nephew, keep
Absolutely.
striving for greatness.
That's it, man.
Hey, you get our A's. I'm gonna send you something, man.
Yeah, yeah. Folks, man, if you haven't had a chance to, man, and shout out to out of your Falcon mind for tuning in, man. Go give them a sub, man. Go watch their incredible content, man. John and Mike do an incredible job, man, every Wednesday. And like yesterday, pop-up show yesterday, man, that was hilarious. If you haven't had a chance to, man, please go see the boys at Out of Your Falcon Mind. Hit them with a like, hit them with a sub. Some good people, great people, man. But yeah, man,
Agreed.
100%. Smitty, man, that's another thing. We get into that 16 range, man. Now we talking also Nolan Smith, area for draft pick. We talked about solidifying cornerback positions with back-to-back picks, but can edge rusher be that for us as well? We get a Chase Young, but damn, boom, we double back and take a Nolan Smith. That would fix the defense almost instantaneously instead of relying so much on just one player. A combination of two players, man, could be a sight to watch, man.
Yeah, but as I've said, man, you get a Chase Young, man. I would hate to say it, but Nolan Smith wouldn't even be in the picture anymore. Because
true.
With that third or fourth round pick that fourth round pick that I alluded to that you possibly could get from Washington, edge rush is still deep in this draft in the fourth round. So you still could get a young guy in the fourth round. For Kevo from San Jose State, he's a guy that could possibly pop up. I mean,
Jose
it's
Ramirez
just so many,
is another
man.
guy too, man. He's so underrated, man.
Right, Ali Gay from LSU. I mean, it's just so many, man. So I mean,
man, it's true. But if you're sold on one, we say the trade is pulled off. What do you go?
If I was sold on one, depending on what I could get, first Chase Young flip pitch Chase Young and a fourth round pick is the one I'd probably be sold on. But with Houston at number 12, if you can get that second round pick from them, you can still move back up into the first round with one of those with that fifth round pick and have two first round picks, and you already know who I'm aiming at if I move back up into the first round.
BJ Ojulari?
Oh, no doubt about
it. Yes, sir, man. If y'all been tuning in, man, that's Smitty's guy, man. BJ Ojulari from LSU, man. Guy's a bender, man. He gets around that corner very well, man. I don't know why he's not talked about, more in the first round or back end of the first round. They got a solid number 2 grade on him, but man, that's a kid that, definitely, man. He can come in and do some work over here, man. Let me just go through the chat, man, see what's going on. Let me see.
Let's answer a couple questions before we get out of here, bro.
Yes, sir.
30 minutes go by fast when you're having fun, man.
They do, man. It really does, man.
Hey, Wiley Smith, what's up, man? Thank you for coming through the show the other day, man. I really appreciate it, man.
He was on?
Kicking it with me for a while. Yeah, Wallace was on for a little while.
Damn.
Wallace doing his thing, man. Appreciate it, Wallace. Winston Thornton, man, he was on with me too. Nat Bookie was on with me.
Awesome.
Yeah, so man, we had a blast. Wallace, you got to come through and holler at me more often, man.
What do you think about this one right here? Are you willing to lose Nolan for Chase? Nah, I'll pass. I need more to sweeten that deal. Yeah, okay.
But I've already sweetened the deal. I mean, I explained it.
Yeah.
If you get a former first round pick when he's healthy, he could be one of the best young pass rushers in the league. 6'5", 270 pounds, all muscle. But I get what you're going at. But I think Chase Young is more of a prototypical tight end than Nolan Smith will ever be, and I'm just being real.
Yeah. Wait, I gotta look up something because something just popped in. I don't know if it's
and I'm gonna be real. You know who Nolan Smith remind me of, and it's a guy we talk about all the time, Yannick Ngakoue. And the reason why is he could be just a situational pass rush at the next level. He might thrive at it, but we need an every down type guy, a guy that's good against the run. Small as Nolan Smith is, he may have trouble against the run. He may have trouble setting the edge. So that's why I would take Chase Young, because premier block shed and getting after the quarterback. When he's healthy, he's rough, man.
Yeah, man. And Yannick Ngakoue, man, still a shocker that he's still out there for his services to be had, man. I think, man, we talked about him a couple weeks ago. I'm sorry to say, man, I think the word one trick comes into mind, one trick pony. he's a horrible run defender, but he's a tremendous pass rusher, as his stats claim. Every year he finishes in that 7 to 9, sack output, which is great. But he doesn't offer really that much more other than that, man. So that's probably the reason why he might be an after the draft signing by somebody. Hell, Atlanta might even take a swing at him if that price tag comes down too. Here's another one right here.
Mike, Nolan, to me is not Von Miller. I think Anderson out of Alabama is a little bit more Von Miller. He had that same type of aggressiveness that I seen Von Miller coming out of Texas had now. You talk about a guy that has a motor that won't stop. He probably had probably turn his motor off when he go to bed. That's why he probably stay up all night. But Will Anderson, he just a different type dude, man. And there's no disrespect to Nolan Smith. But I feel like he'll be, in the right system. I think he'll be more of a situational pass rusher. Now he could pick up about 15 more pounds, add muscle. He'll be fine. But when you look at Will Anderson, man, it's just Von Miller 2.0.
Yeah.
Everything I seen in Von Miller 12 years ago, I see it in Will Anderson.
Yeah. I like this kid right here. Shout out to you, Derek, man. Thank you for this one, man. Would love Ivan Pace for Cincinnati. Ivan Pace is just a fucking bowling ball as linebacker, man. He's got good speed, man, sideline to sideline, man. Very, very physical, man. And the way Cincinnati used him in that defense, man, he was even lined up at defensive tackle at times. That's how that's how good he was, man, for Cincinnati, man. Let's see. Luca Van Ness, man. Smitty, I know you recently just did a video on it, man. A tough prospect to, really talk about, man. At times, looked real stiff against better competition. Wasn't a starter for Iowa, man. If he gets drafted, a team's gonna draft him because of his motor. Let's be honest, man. He's got a good motor, and that's probably where it ends right there, man. Because, I don't know. The hand usage, the stiffness at times, man. Not enough for me to pull the trigger on him in the first round, man.
No, I just don't see it. And like I said, he could be a situational pass rusher as well. Because how do we know how he's going to transition into being a starter, playing more snaps? And I know you can get into shape to do that kind of stuff. But I just don't see him as a number 8 pick. If he's there in the second round and you decide to go offensive line in the first, I can see you trading up in the second round to go get him because you will find more situational pass rushers there. Even though I like Ojulari, Lucas Van Ness, he may be a little bit better against the run. And that probably what separates him from a lot of these pass rushers because he's excellent against the run.
Man, let me see.
Georgia Texas boy, Troy Anderson and Luca Van Ness comparison. I can see it, but I think Troy Anderson is a true middle linebacker. Even though, like Alberto always says, if he can play outside, I can see that comparison because they're both fast. Well, actually, Troy Anderson is faster because he runs a 4.4. So him going downhill would be kind of scary in a blitz package. And you actually seen it last year.
Yeah. This is a good question right here, Smitty. Who do you guys think is the steal of the draft? Underrated guy like how we got Troy Anderson as a steal last year. That's a damn good question.
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
That's a pressure question, man.
I got to go with the name I just talked about earlier, Jack Campbell. Because when I talk about middle linebackers, man, his instincts is unmatched. Yeah. And you talk about a guy that's 6'5", man, and 255. I mean, man, dude he's lightning quick. He has great instincts. He's a great, tackler. He plays downhill. You put him next to Troy Anderson, man, you got your middle linebacker for the next 5 years.
Yeah. I would have to go with the guy I mentioned before him, man, Trenton Simpson, man. Plug and play type guy. And what he's real underrated at is his coverage skills. Hell of a coverage linebacker, man, at 6'3", runs a 4.43. I could definitely see that guy as the steal of the draft as far as, the linebackers are concerned, man. Absolutely so, man. Let's see what else we got here.
Drew Sanders is another good one.
Drew
Sanders. Is that John and Mike? Yeah, Drew Sanders is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's tall too.
Very much so, man. Oh man, let's see. Anybody else got
If we
any other
traded back to
questions, man?
14,
Mm-hmm.
I see one. Aaron Dale, our boy Aaron Dale, 82,
Oh, there we go.
said we traded back to 14. Who would you want realistically?
Oh, good question, man.
Uh,
I'm gonna take this one right quick, Smitty, if you don't mind.
do your thing, bro.
We've talked so much about the offensive skill position, defensive positions and stuff like that. For me, I'm a trench work type guy. My work is in the trenches. QB1, as we all know, is Desmond Ritter, solidifying left guard, which is still a problematic position for our Falcons. That's where we need to be looking at. Is Skoronski still there, which I don't anticipate him being there at 16. I think he's a plug-and-play left guard from day one. I like him better as a guard than a tackle. Just his physicality and from the point of view on how he attacks. His feet, his footwork is great. I think he would have no problems just transitioning right from tackle to guard. So for me, I would have to say offensive line, realistically, if we traded back, man.
And I'm gonna be real with you, and I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks.
Mm.
At some point, if top pass rush is gone, if you move back and you're looking at another position, because I said cornerback is deep, and I think the three top corners would be gone. Because
Yeah.
to me, I really don't trust Joey Porter Jr. because he do a little bit too much grabbing, which is something he can work on.
Robert Alford.
But B. John Robinson, if he's there at 14, I got to think about it, man. If you don't want to go top 10, you move back about 6 spots. B. John Robinson, he's still one of the best players in the draft. If you talk about best player available, he's still one of the best available at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So and I know y'all are saying we straight at running back. No, we not.
No, we not, man.
And I've said it 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Cordell Patterson, this may be his last year. Period.
Yeah.
You talk about Caleb Huntley, Achilles injury may not be the same. And like I said, think about it. Shit, if what's his name? If Cordell Patterson get hurt, does he really come back to the Falcons?
Yeah.
And you look at Avery Williams, he's a returner. So what is your plan at running back the next 45 years? And I know we have more talent in this draft at running back, but let's be real, man. Talent like B.J. Robinson don't come along too often. And when was the last time the Falcons drafted a running back this high that was this productive? I go all the way back to Gerald Riggs in the late 80s. And think about how long that has been. So when you have a home run hitter to go with your power back who's going to wear down the defense, you got to take that chance, man.
Yeah.
You got to take that chance.
I like this one right here, right quick. Shout out to Tony Wright, man. Man, absolutely. And if he didn't get hurt at the combine,
yeah, he tore his ACL.
He tore his ACL. He would be the consensus #1 guard in the draft, overtaking Osiris Torrance. If we resign Elijah Wilkinson, but draft Andrew Voorhees for next year,
Elijah may be gone. He took an interview with Dallas the other day, so
Dallas,
he may be gone.
Possibly, unless Atlanta could swoon in, and make a late minute deal, something like that. But drafting a kid like this just to stash him and get him prime, ripe and ready for next year, fucking hell yeah, man. This dude was an animal at USC, man. And the tape, like you mentioned, Tony, it doesn't lie, man. Absolutely.
And I'm gonna be honest, if he's there in the 3rd round, or if he falls to the 4th, I'm definitely taking him, man. Like you said, stash him away for a year.
Yeah.
Bring him back, let him work with Lipscomb for a whole year. Get knowledge of the game up. And he probably could be, on that same level. Because like you said, he's one of the best talents at that position in this draft.
In the draft, yeah. Our boy
Isaiah got a question for you, man.
Who's that?
Isaiah Davis is one guy that you talked about already. Steve Avila.
Oh, the guard out of TCU, man.
Right.
I'm trying to find that comment. Where's it at?
It's near the bottom.
It's near the bottom.
Second from the bottom.
Got you right here. What up, Isaiah? Yo, man, I did a video on Steve Avila about 3 weeks ago, man. If you can, man, just go back to the channel, 95 North Falcons Talk Show. I give my opinion on him, man. For one, I would definitely draft this kid, man. This is a kid that you talk about that played guard and center and excelled at both positions. I believe it was in 2021. He no sacks at the center position. Then he transitioned right to guard and played at a high quality level, man. 6'4", good frame, good bend, good hand usage. I think he can come in, and he's another plug and play type guy as well, man. But Steve Avila out of TCU, man, absolutely, man. I would definitely would
Yeah.
not be mad if Atlanta got him in the second round. Because truth be told, we need more depth at the offensive line positions, man. I know Atlanta's been signing some folks, but they may be no more than camp bodies or just to fill out the roster.
Yeah, guard and center definitely needs depth, man, because both of those guys are each other's backups.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you start one, you start both of them, you don't have depth there. So
Mm,
guard is definitely a position. That's why you said with Voorhees,
mm-hmm,
if he can sit for a year and they bring in somebody to last another year,
mm-hmm.
I would do it.
Yeah. Here's this one right from my boy RJ ATL for life. The plug. Is there any good centers in the draft? I'd rather have Dahlman or Hennessy battle at left guard. So John Michael Schmidt out of Minnesota, if I'm not
And you knew where
mistaken.
I was going, didn't you?
Yeah. I think that's really the only center to really talk about, to be honest with you. Unless, certain teams like the guy I just mentioned value Steve Avila more as a center than a guard, then you can see that. But John Michael Schmidt's, man, probably clear-cut number one center at that position, bar none, bar none, man. He's just that guy, man. Athletic. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
like 6'2", 6'3".
Yep.
And I can see why, you would want to upgrade at that position. We all know Dahlman has his issues
Well,
snapping the ball.
I
So,
got I got another one I've been scouting, man, and y'all been following me. Y'all heard his name a couple of times. Is Joe Tipton from Wisconsin.
yep, Joe
He
Tippmann.
can play guard or center, 6'6", 317. So you talk about a big body at guard or center.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably a guy they would look at on day two.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, man, because that's another position. That's a position of need as well.
Yeah, man. I like this comment right here, man, from our boys out of your Falcon mind. Giving Troy a pass on year one. He just needs more reps at linebacker. Definitely agree on that. Progressed throughout the season. Intelligent dude, too. Excited to see what Nielsen can do with him. And I think he's probably the how can you say this, man? The missing puzzle piece to the defense, possibly, or just that natural, Swiss Army knife, because that's what I view him more as, like a Swiss Army knife,
Yeah,
a
and
positionless player, man.
with him having played quarterback before,
Mm-hmm.
he kind of
Mm-hmm.
can read the offense a little bit better
Yeah.
because 9 times out of 10 he knows the language, he knows where everyone lines up. So yeah, he could be the missing piece. We
Mm-hmm.
just have to get him a running mate,
Yeah.
and I think they'll find a way to do that.
I think we gave him two great names to start off, man. So it could very well happen too, man. But yeah, man, I'm also excited to see what Nielsen does with him, man. I, for one, man, I want to see him lined up on the edges, man. I want to see him pass rush, man. I think this boy can be
Right.
probably 8 to 10 sacks, man, if it's all untapped, man. But let's go back to the comments over here. Man, let's see. Ooh. Our boy, the Dixon Way. Folks, man, if you want A1 premium content on all things sports, man, go check out the Dixon Way on YouTube, man. Turn the volume down, turn the Dixon Way all the way up. Always great play-by-play on Atlanta Hawks. Great Falcons content also, man. So please go show them some love, man. The Dixon Way. Hit them with a like and a sub, man. And yeah, man, you guys will not be disappointed. But yeah, definitely, man. Adetomiwa Adibara is the guy out of Northwestern. Definitely, man, he was the star of the combine, man. They got him listed as edge, but this is a guy that could probably play that tweener role between edge and defensive tackle. Can't miss, man. This guy's stout, man. 6'2", man. Like I mentioned, man, was the shining star at the combine. I think he could potentially be also another steal. And Nolan Smith, everybody's clamoring for Nolan Smith, man. You can't argue, man. The athleticism and stuff like that, man, it's all there. It's just him landing in the right hands of the right defensive coordinator to just piece that all together and just put him on the right path for success, man. So Nolan Smith is another guy, man. Can't not, knock
And
him down one.
Nathan,
Yep.
this is what surprised me the most.
Mm-hmm.
He could not use his lower body because of his knee, and he still killed the bench rep
Yeah.
at the combine.
And
So
he's
when you
talking about
talk
Andrew
about
Voorhees.
power,
Yeah.
right, and when you talk about power and you know moving in space, he's one of those guys that can open up running lanes. Now
Absolutely, man.
imagine having him and Chris Lindstrom on the same offensive
Oh
line. Uh,
man.
and if you get a guy like this that's versatile, that can play right guard or left
Hmm.
guard,
Hmm.
and they would help Hennessy or Dalton.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wouldn't even matter who would line up at center because they would take up the slack.
Yeah, man.
So
I
yeah,
talked
that
about it
would be a
before,
great
bro,
move.
man. That would be an equivalent to Jahari Evans and Carl Nicks back for the Saints back in the day. As I was coming up and watching football, man, those were the premier guards in the league right there. Them two gentlemen out of New Orleans, man. So why not replicate that style of play, man? Because they were both excellent at their positions, man. Uh-oh. You know what time it is.
I can't do it. You already know I can't even do it,
Oh,
bro.
Wonder World, bro. Can I get a C first of all? Oh, C first of all. Vocals are underrated. You might got some comp for the lead singer, Lo. Yeah. So hit me up on that, man. We're gonna have to you and Uncle Steve. We're gonna have to get on the ones and twos, man, and battle it out. But thank you for the Superman. Look at me already jumping the gun to Superman chat, man. But thank you so much for this for the donation, man. We truly appreciate it. Smitty, what you plan on
Appreciate it,
doing
big low.
with that $4.99 biggie bag from Wendy's, or what you thinking? You know it's food
Yeah, I go a
related
biggie
with you.
bag. Yeah, I go a biggie bag. Or I give me a loaf of bread and some peanut butter and go to work.
God damn. Love it, man. Love it, man. But man, everybody's throwing out some tremendous names, man. Oh man. Aaron, man, you a fool, bro. Oh, bro.
Yeah,
Man.
Berto been working on that for a minute.
Oh man, you know how many times on YouTube I rewind it because he's on record saying it for himself in an interview. So I'm like, I gotta keep going back. Man. It's crazy, man.
I seen one that I liked.
Yep.
Let's see. I lost it. Let's go Lonnie Gums. I never seen that name.
Let's do it.
It's your first time, and don't forget if it's your first time tuning in, man, hit that subscribe button on Smitty Sports Machine and on the 95 North Falcons Talk Show.
Yes, sir.
But we do a collective, and we just put the two names together when we
Yes,
do
sir.
our lives. Do you have anyone in mind, free agent, that could come in, possible look in the edge? Only other person that I can think of is Yannick, man. Yannick is the only one left out there that can come in.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, man. Yeah, probably an after the draft signing, depending on how the Falcons draft. Obviously, if they feel like they could get him at a cheap price, man, then why not? His price tag could be too high. We spoke about that too, so it could be because of
Right.
that, man. But I got a special one right here for me, man. Glory Hands. I know he's from the motherland. Caguas, Puerto Rico, in the
No
building,
doubt, no
man.
doubt.
How you doing, man? Gracias por estar con nosotros este domingo. Yo, man, shouts out to you, brother, man. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday. Tyree Wilson or Nolan Smith? Good
And he
Lord.
would throw out a tough one like that, man. Damn. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna go Tyree Wilson.
Yes.
And I'm a diehard Georgia Bulldog fan, but when you talk about 6'6", 275, and you talk about what Ryan Nielsen had in New Orleans with Cam Jordan, that would be his Cam Jordan. We have a lot of edge rushers that, around the 250 mark. So why not get that big guy that can slide over to a 3-4 end if we need him to? So that's why I would put Tyree Wilson, because I think he has a little bit more versatility.
Yeah, truth be told, man, Tyree Wilson, man, busted foot or not, man, that dude's just built different, man. He's an animal on the line, man. And you can do so many things with him. He's so versatile, man. The way Texas used him up, man. In between tackles, stunt moves, you name it, man. That guy was there. So I definitely would prefer Tyree Wilson over Nolan Smith at the moment. We got another donation. Our boy, Let's Get a GA, folks in the chat, man. If you haven't been to Let's Get a GA, please go hit him with that subscribe button, man, or hit that subscribe button. Show him some love on his channel. Also, thank you, my brother, for the $5 donation.
Hey, he be running that 2K, man.
Yes, sir. Hey. He does. Yeah, man. Oh man.
Yeah, he running that 2K, man.
Yeah, man. Boom. Let me see what else. A couple more questions, but we head up out of here, man. Again, everybody, man, thank you for joining us on this Sunday. Just a quick little pop-up show, man, just to try and spice up some things, man. What would a trade look like for our Atlanta Falcons if we did trade back? We gave you at the beginning of the show, if you haven't watched, some scenarios. One being with the Jets, one being with the Washington Commanders. Pick up some extra draft picks, of course, to solidify the team more, and also acquiring Chase Young from the Washington Commanders if that trade was to go down. So if anybody has any questions in the comments about that, please drop them before myself and Smitty head on with our Sunday, man.
Yep, gotta go eat dinner, man. I'm hungry, boy.
Man, them ribs are calling, man. I got 2 slabs of ribs on the grill right now, so I'm about to throw down soon.
Derek says, how many receivers we taking this draft?
Great question. I can see 2.
I would say 2. Because we only really have about 5 or 6, and we don't even know if they're gonna make the team. So you got to,
man. There's a lot of intriguing options, man. Rashid Rice, Ivan Hutchinson, or Xavier Hutchinson, excuse me. Trey Palmer is another guy.
Right.
Oh,
Tank Dell.
That's
Dale. One of my favorites.
Yep. I got a guy, man, that I'm starting to like really like dig his work, man, and that's Jonathan Mingo. That's another kid too, man. I think he can come in and do some things, man.
He's what, about 6'2", about 225. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude, man. That's probably Arthur Smith's version of AJ Brown, if he does come to Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
AJ physical, man.
Very physical.
Dr. Gunja wants to know,
yes, sir,
if we pass on defensive end at 8, who would you want at 44? I like Keon White, Isaiah Foskey, or Thule, our boy Thule from USC.
Yep, Thule, 2L to Po 2. That would be my guy. That would be my guy. 24.5 sacks at USC, man. Again, a guy that has violent, heavy hands, man. He's one of those guys as he makes the tackles rethink of how of where the hand placements go, man. Definitely a good bender. Another thing, and I keep using that word, great bend, and that's what you got to have, at the defensive end position. And he's one to showcase that. Good speed coming off the edge, also very physical, man. So my guy would be him. Isaiah Foskey, leading sack guy for Notre Dame, broke the record. I don't know. It's just something about him. He's one of those guys that he pops up on film and then he's gone, for a couple, for many plays.
Yeah, and I love Keon White, man. If y'all been following me, I've been calling that name for 2 months. You talk about a guy that's about 6'4", about 280. He's a 3-4 defensive end, but he can also, stand up and get out to the passer, and he's good in coverage. Yeah, guy that big that can cover a running back, he's got to be super athletic. So when you talk about another Cam Jordan option, he's another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Keon White, man. Definitely, man. Great things to be said about him out of Georgia Tech, man. Poof. It's crazy. Shaka Zulu,
appreciate it, my dude.
Appreciate you, man.
Definitely appreciate it, man.
We definitely try, man. And everybody here in the chat, man, if you can, man, as you all know, we tune in on Tuesdays. We come in always prime time. This week we have a very special guest coming on to the show. And should we let the cat out the bag now, or should we hold on to it? Smitty, what do you think?
I mean, you can let it out. A lot of them I already know because I already told them.
Fred Smoot will be dropping in, man.
Right. I will put the feed up on my YouTube channel, and y'all will see it. So y'all hit the notification, and when we go live, y'all will definitely see it. And if y'all remember Fred Smoot in the NFL in the 2000s, this dude was a straight character, man. So y'all better bring y'all tit towels or y'all bucket, because he gonna have y'all laughing and pissing on y'all.
Hell yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now. So if y'all want a good time, Fred is that dude, man. And congratulations to him as well. He's on a new podcast with Josina Anderson, NFL Insider, and famed actor Morris Chestnut. So y'all go check that out. It's called The Crew on YouTube.
Yes,
so please go check that out. You can also find it on Apple and Spotify Radio.
To answer this question, ribs, man, ribs. Got to do ribs. I was in the mood for some ribs today, man. So
I got steaks. I'm a steak dude. Hey,
Oh
you
man.
give me a good sirloin, man. I'm good to go.
Okay.
And I love Philly cheesesteak, so I make mine with flank steaks.
Yeah, man. So what you think, Smitty? Time to roll, man.
Time to roll, bro.
Time to roll, man. So before we end, man, special thank you to everybody that tuned in, all the viewers at home. Also, man, thank you for dropping in and just checking us out, man, on this Sunday pop-up show. Quick, like I mentioned, man, just a quick little topic just to speak on, man, because it's a possibility, man, with the Falcons solidifying a lot of the positions at key areas this free agency. What would a trade back look like for our Atlanta Falcons? As we mentioned, we gave you some scenarios of where we could land in this year's draft, some players that could be acquired. So yeah, man, we appreciate everybody dropping those comments, dropping the many names throughout the show. Thank each and every one of you for joining us again, man. This your boy 95 North Falcons Talk Show, alongside my guy
And your
Antoine
boy.
Smitty Smith, man. Hit him with that, Smitty.
Hey man, y'all call me superhero, y'all call me cool, y'all call me what you want. But you can't call me lame. That's all I
That's a
want to
fact.
tell you.
There you go,
But
man.
hey, until Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, make sure y'all check in. We're gonna have a good time. Hopefully my boy Big Lord come in with the catfish. And my boy Uncle Steve be sitting in the back of the mail truck with the 4 flat tires
Damn.
in the back of the parking lot. But we gonna have fun and
Yes,
we
sir.
can't wait to see y'all there, man. And we gonna holler at y'all later, man.
Man. Peace,
Peace.
everybody. Enjoy your Sunday.